Let me introduce you to my Mercedes-Benz Road Warrior. I call it the Road Warrior for three reasons. Number one, it's a tank. Look at the size of this car. And number two, it's just a joy to drive. When you get in this car on the freeway, it's quiet, it's smooth, it's extremely comfortable. And then number three, it gets really good fuel economy for the size of the vehicle. So in this video, I just want to do a quick walk around, introduce you to this car, and show you some of its key features. This is what I call a milestone car for Mercedes-Benz. It is a 1986 300 SDL, L meaning long body, and it was in the US market, it was the very first long body W126 diesel. Now they had long bodies on some of the previous gas models, but this is the first one. And you look at the body of this thing, just look at the design as you move down the side. It has a timeless elegance, I would say, and I think a lot of W126 owners agree. This is a very handsome car. But if you look at the side view, a lot of times you can spot the difference between the short body and the L or long body by the two doors. The rear door is longer. They added about 4 inches in that rear door. So you can look at the side of the car, compare the back door to the front door, and with a little experience, you can tell the difference between just the standard 300 SD and the 300 SDL. Now, when the 300 SD ceased production in 1985, there was another thing that Mercedes moved up to, and that was they went from 14 to 15-inch wheels. So this was the first year of the larger wheel on the W126 sedan. But let me introduce you to the rear seating in this car. This is one of the things I just love, getting that extra leg room. When you open the door and look inside, look at, it's like going into the inside of a limousine. Now I know some of you W126 owners are going to say, whoa, just a minute, Kent, that doesn't look like the original interior. Well, it's not. It's actually the leather taken out of a 1990 long-bodied W126. And if you look at some of my other videos, I explain why and how I did that. Now, looking at the rest of the car, we're going to move forward now, open the hood, and I'm going to introduce you to the engine because this was the first year of this very unique turbo diesel engine. This was Mercedes' first 6-cylinder turbo diesel engine. If you're familiar with the old 617 5-cylinder, you can see it's quite different looking. This was the first diesel that they used aluminum head on. And you can look at the intake arrangement is quite different from the earlier ones. And one of the other improvements they made, which I think is a great improvement, is they securely mounted the engine air filter off the engine. But this engine really puts out the power, and this car gets up and really goes. Another change they made in 1986 on the US cars was in the headlights. You'll notice they did away with that, what I would consider less than attractive yellow fog light. These US headlights I do not believe are as attractive as the Euro headlights, but I believe that was a significant improvement over the earlier design. And of course in this model you can see they introduced the headlight wipers. Not much was changed in the interior up front in this car, except if you look at the steering wheel you can see one major change over the earlier models, and that was the introduction of the steering wheel airbag in 1986. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as the early 126 sedans, but it is comfortable and a real joy to drive. After that brief walk around, I think you can understand why this car is one of my favorites. I just love driving this car, and I love the fuel economy. So as soon as the weather improves around here, we're going to take this thing out on a road test so you can see firsthand how it performs on the road.